Shalom, this is Yair, Davidiy speaking to you from the land of Israel. I represent Brit-Am, an organization that researches the whereabouts of the lost tribes, and we have found them. We have found them amongst Western peoples. That is where the lost tribes are, amongst the Western peoples in the offshoots, North America, USA and Canada, also in Australia and New Zealand. That is English-speaking peoples. They are descendants from lost tribes of Israel. As well as them, as well as these English-speaking peoples, also other peoples, such as the French, the Swiss, the Dutch, the Belgians, Danish, Norwegians, Swedes, Finnish. All of these peoples have elements from lost tribes amongst them. We don't say that everyone there is from the lost tribes. We say that is where the lost tribes are to be found amongst these peoples, and they are important contingents amongst them. And you may say that this is a large number of people, but so was prophesied. It was prophesied the blessings given to Israel, whether the seed should be as the sand of the sea, and as the stars of the heaven, as the dust of the earth. It would be innumerable, and that is what they are. They're very numerous. This is one of the fulfillments of the blessings, that they will be very numerous, and that is what they are. And now, as the Israelites were descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob was renamed Israel. Israel divided into two different sections, Yehuda and Israel, also known as Ephraim or as Joseph, after the main tribes. And this northern section comprised 10 tribes. They were conquered by the Assyrians, taken into exile, and lost consciousness of their ancestry. Nevertheless, we have traced them to Western peoples. As we said, that is where the lost tribes are. In addition to that, those who remained behind, those who remained conscious of their ancestry, that is the southern section of the Israelite nation, Judah, known as Judah in the Bible. They comprise the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and contingents from the other tribes who fled to them. In other words, in their own way, they represent all of the tribes of Israel, even though the dominant tribes are Judah and Benjamin, especially Judah. That's what they're known as Jews, and they remain conscious of their ancestry, and they are the Jews of today, and they have their own task in the world to fulfill the prophecies, to keep the law, to develop the law, and eventually they will reunite with the 10 tribes of Israel. And they are present also developing the land of Israel and preparing the way for all of the tribes to return and doing what they have to do. And to do the will of God, we should help them. They should be helped. The Jews should be helped. They should be protected from those who hate them, because those who hate them also hate the Israelites. They hate the God of Israel. And they would also persecute the 10 tribes if they knew who they were. And in addition to this, we also have Esau. Esau, also known as Edom. Esau was a twin brother of Jacob, and he was destined also to become a great and mighty people and to be influential in world history. He gave rise to the Romans. He gave rise to a section of the Germanic peoples, of peoples in Russia, peoples in China, peoples in Japan, of leading military elites and others throughout Europe, throughout the world. And he is always instinctively antagonistic towards Judah and Israel, especially Judah, because Judah is recognizable as an Israelite people. Now, these peoples do not necessarily know who they are. This is something instinctive with them. This is something of their culture, of the situation they find themselves in, which brings them to this line of thought, but resonates with an own inner instinctive call that they have. And so too with most prophecies concerning ancestry, the peoples involved do not know who they are, or they do not care, or they're not aware of it, and would not care if they did know, or might not care, but nevertheless they act in certain ways, and they respond to external stimuli, to external events, to things happening to them and around them, but they respond in certain ways in line with their ancestral, and I was going to say, genetic imprint in modern terminology that they already have, which is already is programmed, as if to say, to respond in this way and to develop along certain lines. So we have these two peoples. We have Jacob and we have Israel. And we can identify them by many ways, through history, through archaeology, through mythology, through many sources, but most importantly, or mainly through the Bible, also through rabbinical traditions and related sources. They also help us identify these nations. Now, as we said, Israel had 12 sons. The 12 tribes of Israel came from the 12 sons of Israel. One half became the Jewish people known as Judah, and the other half became the 10 tribes of Israel who exiled and lost consciousness of their ancestry. But they eventually moved to Western Europe, and they their task in history to descend to the level of the Gentiles, but to evolve upwards and to bring the rest of the world with them, which is what they have done to a certain degree. Now, biblical proofs proving that these peoples are from the Western tribes, we find them in the Bible. It says that there will be at the ends of the earth, at the geographical extremities of the world masses. See Isaiah 24:16, 26:15, 41:8-9, 43:6, 49:6. At the ends of the earth, the ends of the geographical extremities of the earth, such as Australia, New Zealand, such as North America, such as Scandinavia, such as the Netherlands, such as France, all of these areas at the geographical extremities of the earth as prophesied there would be. Another point that we need to find a group of people so preferably are interrelated with each other, known to be of the same family, as far as we can tell, and also as a group fulfill at one and the same time all these different prophecies that otherwise would contradict each other. For instance, if we find a prophecy that says that will be in the north, or another one indicating that will be in the southeast. So they can't be in the north and the southeast and the one at the same time, unless a group of them are in the north and a group of them in the southeast, or in the northwest. It says that a section of them will be in the northwest. We find the British Isles in the northwest. Another prophecy indicates, or the same prophecy indicates, they're also in the southeast. So we need them in the southeast, with the southeast from taking Israel the centre of the earth. To the southeast of the land of Israel, we have Australia and New Zealand. To the northwest, we have Britain. So from that point of view, we find people who fulfill one at the same time these aspects of the blessings. It also says that there will be in the isles. That is a certain section of them, an important section of them would be in the isles, such as the islands of Britain. In Isaiah 24:15, 49:6, 69, Jeremiah 31:9-10, they would also be in the peninsulas and the coastlines adjoining the sea. Jeremiah 31:8, they would be in Tarshish, or associated with Tarshish. See Isaiah 69. Tarshish was a place in the Bible, it's the name of several places in effect, but according to biblical terminology, according to rabbinical interpretations and other factors, Tarshish also came to represent the Atlantic Ocean area. And in order to fulfill this, they had to be in areas adjoining the Atlantic Ocean, such as the British Isles and Northern Europe is, and also North America. It also says there will be the Northland, Jeremiah 33:18 or 31:6-10. It indicates that it will be in the land of sinning, meaning Australia, 49:12, as we have proven. So they are both in the north and northwest, and also in Australia. And only the British peoples and the peoples of Western Europe have fulfilled both of these prophecies at one and the same time. That would be the best places of the earth, the ends of the earth, and the best places of the earth, as in Isaiah 41:9. The best places of the earth, the most noble portions of the earth, and the ends of the earth. For instance, we have other places which are the ends of the earth. We have Siberia, we have Antarctica. We have areas that may also be considered the ends of the earth. But they are not salubrious, they are not conducive to human civilization to a high degree. Whereas those areas where the lost in tribes or peoples we identify as the lost in tribes, such as North America and Northwest Europe and so on, they have a salubrious, health-giving climates, and they are conducive to the development of civilization at an advanced level. It also says those tribes will be in Seraphath, meaning France and Britain. See Obadiah 1:20 and rabbinical commentators' explanations of these verses. It says that this is the first exile, meaning the exile to the lost tribes of Israel will be in Seraphath, meaning France. That's what they say. Seraphath was another name for France, and other commentators say not only France is intended by this expression, but also areas to the north of France and also the British Isles. We also have Jeremiah 31:20, that according to the commentators and explanations of the Hebrew, there is telling us that a pathway of dolmens, of megalithic-type monuments, will lead from the land of Israel to the west, to the place where they lost in tribes will be exiled, and through examining this and through studying this, they may be able to return. And this is what exists now. We do have such a pathway. And this is a sign that the peoples where this pathway leads to, it leads to Western Europe, leads to Ireland, to the British Isles, it leads into the Netherlands, it leads into Denmark, to Scandinavia, and it shows a pathway of migration from these areas back all the way to the land of Israel. And we always remember, we need a group of peoples that are related to each other, to some degree at least, and they seem to be related to each other, or could be related to each other, and also fulfill at the same time all of these prophecies. And the peoples we have spoken of, they are the ones who do fulfill these prophecies, and this proves they are descended from lost ten tribes of Israel, or at the very least the lost ten tribes are amongst them. That is where the lost ten tribes are to be searched for in the end times, that is where they are to be found in our times. There are additional proofs from the Bible, from rabbinical sources, from recognizable symbols, from historical behavior, from the present contemporary situation, the blessings, the ancestral names of these peoples that are still used by them, or historically used by them not so long ago, with national characteristics, and other factors that all help prove this identification. The 10 tribes are, as we said, not necessarily the majority of the peoples amongst which they settled, but they could well be. So that is another point. The main point at present is to impress upon everyone that everyone should know that is who those 10 tribes are. In addition to the descendants of Jacob, we also have descendants of Esau. Esau was also known as Edom. See Genesis 25:30, 36:8. Esau was referred to as an Edmoni, that is a reddish person, Genesis 25:25. That is indicates that he was mainly of a Caucasian golden red-haired type appearance, and redheads also appeared amongst Israelites. Don't forget that, and should not forget that. David, who became the king of Israel, was also an Admoni, a reddish red-haired type of person. See 1 Samuel 16:22. Esau was known as Edom. He was also known as Yair, after a Canaanite type people with whom he intermixed. See Deuteronomy 2:4-5. Ezekiel 25:8, 35:3, and other sources. The descendants of Esau and Esau intertwined with each other, and they had a mutual destiny. And from these peoples came different groups. We have the people of Anna. From these people came the Venetians of Italy. We have Zepho. From Zepho came the people of Sparta and Greece, and also the Sabines, who helped found the city of Rome and the civilization of Rome. We have Teman, one of the descendants of Esau. He was known for his wisdom, see Jeremiah 49:7. Also Job 2:11. Descendants of Teman would have been found among the Assyrians and the Babylonians. So they found amongst them, they were contingent, a small section amongst them, but they were also there. And ancient Macedonians, Alexander the Great was from Teman, a descendant of Teman according to the Greek tradition. The term Teman is also sometimes used to represent Edom in general, see Amos 1:12, Abijah 1:9. The Edomites were also to be found in Armenia, and as we said, in Europe, in Rome, Austria, Germany, among the European ruling class, through civil lines, in Macedonia, Greece, and in the Germanic states. The Germans have worshipped Odin. The name Odin is a form of Edom. Odin, the god Odin, whom the ancient Germans worshipped, also known in Germany as Koz. And Koz was another name for the god of the Edomites in Idumea, which was the main or the initial center of Edomite civilization, where they spread out from. And Esau had been blessed that he should have a fertile land, agricultural bounty, that he should live by a sword, be a warrior people, see Genesis 27:39-40. And so we find descendants of Edom who often have been reddish or blonde-haired Caucasian types, but not always, not necessarily, because also intermixed with other peoples. Very proficient warriors, always a warrior class, a warrior group of fighters, intellectually advanced. Teman was known for his wisdom. They knew things, and they should be relatively prosperous, and that is people who identify with Edom also have been. So there we have it. We have Esau and Jacob, or Israel. We have these two peoples living side by side, intermixing with each other, involved with each other, and having each in his own way fulfill the prophecies given unto him. So may the Lord God of Israel bless you. Thank you.